All right, so you've got your team assembled, put them together, committed to the goal of low carbon, got them educated. You've looked at both passive and active solar or renewable energy passive solar strategies in your design. You've right-sized the plans, whether through new construction or rethinking the renovation process to ensure more utility for less conditioned space. And you've reduced as far as you can your energy usage demand for the building, and with it your heating load requirements by aiming for passive house. Maybe you didn't make it to passive house, and that's okay, but you've gotten really close to it, and that's a great goal to set and try to get there as far as you can. It's going to put you way beyond code, and it's going to make a really tight building, so you're going to be able to do this next step, which is tick number 6, and that's our recommendation, which is to electrify everything. So first we have a poll here for you, or a question. How many solar panels do you need to offset one new gas water heater? So just just an average number. Think about it in your head. Write it in the comments section. 1 panel, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What's that number? Think about that for a second. And now that you got that number in your head, know that that was a trick question, because the reality is the combustion generated from our gas appliances, heating, water heating, you could have 10,000 solar panels. It can't pull those emissions back into the air, which is why we recommend that going all electric, which can be directly offset. The other thing is just, problems. We've heard over and over again of issues with natural gas, propane, and other gas type explosions. Imagine just at one time, right before Thanksgiving, the wrong fuel, a high pressure fuel was sent down a low pressure line is what I believe happened, and massive explosions occurred in people's homes, and they were out for months needing repair work. And I don't believe you can send the wrong electricity down the wire. Now, there is such a thing as dirty electricity. We're not getting into that here, but I don't think that can happen. Other issues, you've got carbon monoxide poisoning, both high-level carbon monoxide, which doesn't happen too often, and then there's the low-level carbon monoxide issues that sort of can cause flu-like symptoms, other respiratory issues, which you certainly don't need right now, missing work and school days, leaking chimneys. You're using that chimney to move that combustion out of the house, but a lot of older chimneys that you try to reuse tend to leak water, which cause other problems. Venting really leads to air loss, which equals heat loss, which equals carbon and money loss. And all those vents and chimneys and holes allow the pests to kind of come in as well. So you've got all these negatives by doing that. So, we tried this before, going all electric. Our former president, before he was president, Reagan, had a great idea with obviously partnering with General Electric and GE at the time he was the spokesperson, that we could live better all electric. And, it just didn't, the technology just wasn't there. It didn't take off. But I would argue we are here, and we are seeing tremendous growth, especially in certain parts of the country. But as you can see on the left side there, US-wide from 1993 to 2015, potentially almost 10% jump in homes that are going all electric. And really, a lot of this is occurring in many ways now due to cities and municipalities, if not outright, obviously saying no new natural gas infrastructure, but even some now saying we're going to come in and put a plan to remove gas infrastructure. So that really challenges you as you think through your projects. Do you want to have an outdated technology that your client's going to have to change out soon anyway? And so we would hope you would, think to the future.
The other thing is that gas tops out, from a technology standpoint, gas tops out at 98%. and electric, goes up to 400% energy efficiency with its product. So the very first thing is the most well-known, and that's what we call geothermal, or its true name, ground source heat pump systems. So we talked about that in pro tip number 2, where we evaluate a project for its potential in geothermal. So that's, again, putting the pipes under the ground, using a refrigerant or water to move heat. But these, hands down, are the most energy efficient systems you can get. There's just no way to beat that. This is the most well-known way to go all electric, and it's a proven and known source. So you can check out more information on using geothermal to get to lead in zero energy, and also talking about using it for water heating. But one new trending way to do this that we believe, is getting much more popular because of its reduced costs and its ease of install, are air source heat pump systems. So right now, that's kind of in the stage of mini split systems, which can be placed strategically around homes to heat and cool rooms that are only needed for the energy. And you can use these systems. They work down to really low negative temps into the teens, and still continue to put out almost full capacity heat, and then just reduce from there. And then just some backup energy can be used to continue to keep the home going in those really rare cold days, that don't happen too often, especially anymore these days. And a lot of times, if you don't like that look of these mini splits, they can be hidden strategically. They can also be ducted, so they can still deliver some movement around the house where it needs to be without being a full ducted system. But that's one way to hide them and duct them, and we're seeing more of that called the ducted mini split. This is a system I'll be installing soon. It's a fully ducted mini split or air source heat pump system. And I'll be just swapping, it's just plug and play, swapping out my gas furnace and popping this in, and we're seeing more and more of this. If you love ducts and your clients love ducts and are afraid of going all mini split, then this is a great solution with a full ducted system, these air source heat pumps, and we're seeing more of those. And we have a session on that on our website too, about how to achieve that and learn more about these ducted systems. The same concept here for water heating. Again, you're taking what heat pumps are doing, and I should have explained, they're taking energy that's in the air and then just converting it into heat, or the opposite, they're just moving it into another direction. So they just basically work in reverse in the wintertime through a condenser. So same goes for heat pumps. This is my heat pump water heater. And you can see the top there on the right side. This is where the cooler air, or the warmer air, should I say, comes in. And then on the picture on the left, you can see it's getting spit out on the right. And it's going to be a lot cooler when it's spit out. It's also especially helpful in the summertime when it might get a little humid in the house. It's actually dehumidifying the home as well through this process and doing that. And these systems can also be ducted. So if you've got a really small area and don't get enough airflow, you can either duct it into another room, which people do, and maybe use a filter, or they can duct it, right outside. So work with your HVAC contractor to figure that out. But these systems get up to anywhere, to 400% efficiency. They have up to 110 gallons, and we see larger systems that can serve larger homes or multiple multifamily units. The other really cool thing about these is they can be basically used by the utility as a battery. And there's a lot of experiments going on where the utility can kind of work to control your system. And so the heat pump only pumps heat when energy prices and carbon demand or energy demand is low. And then, pumps it up, gets that system up there. And then during the day when prices go up and when systems are coming online, then the system isn't using energy and it's just staying heated as you need it. So they're experimenting with this to see if it can work to help reduce the demand on the grid. If you want to keep learning about the ideas of going all electric, we've got a session from the Rocky Mountain Institute on the economics of electrifying our buildings and a full report from them. RMI is doing some amazing stuff with all electric, so follow them. We also got this really cool user group on Facebook called Electrify Everything, and we've got some great people just sharing ideas on what they're doing, stories, projects, all sorts of stuff. Just go on and check it out, and you can learn more there. Now, I'm going to go on a little bit of a side tangent here, but going all electric, we're really talking about the heating and cooling systems. And what we want to see our homes evolve to are heating and cooling systems and ventilation systems that function more like lungs, right? So older homes are breathing through the walls, but we want them to breathe more. We want to seal them up real tight, and we want them to breathe more like our bodies do, function more like our bodies in just one central spot. So what we're going to see for low carbon homes, I believe, are one way is energy or heat recovery ventilator systems. And these are basically systems that bring in fresh air constantly, exhaust stale air constantly to keep your clients healthy, but they're also capturing anywhere from 70 to 99% of that waste heat that they paid to condition through the system. So keeping the house both healthy and more energy efficient. Now, we also have smart systems, and these smart systems, smart ventilation systems, and the idea behind these smart ventilation systems is that currently they're detecting pollution in the air and they're ventilating as needed, like VOCs, TVOCs, carbon dioxide. And so what's happening is our current ventilation standards are basically like a parking lot during Christmas, right? It's just oversized for the holidays, and then it's barely ever used after that. And so our ventilation systems, are too big, and using up a lot of energy just to keep us, just to be safe. So one thing we can do with the smart ventilation is detect this pollution in the air, whatever it might be. So it runs real low, uses a lot less energy, and then exhausts when need be. So one way to do this is you've got a smart system detecting that pollution there up on the left, and it says, oh, hey, to the bath fan nearby, we're detecting a spike in VOCs because someone's brought in a desk full of formaldehyde or is having a party, extra carbon dioxide. So that ventilates that out as needed. So it's running real low and then it ramps up. And then on the bottom left there, they've got a supply system that brings in that fresh air, maybe to make it up. Or then maybe obviously, it's somebody's cooking or the pollution is happening near the hood range. So the system communicates to the hood range, says, hey, kick on and get this out of the house. We're looking at humidity, carbon dioxide, particulate 2.5, you name it. Then taking it one step from there, you've got systems that have integrated heat pumps in them. And so they are constantly bringing in that fresh air and then running it through a heat pump to condition it so it's 100% comfortable when it comes out. And so our friends at Build Equinox have a product like that made right in America, 100% solar powered, and they've got detection systems and pollution detection systems set up around the house. So you can check that out to also save energy and be smart.